What if we told you that some of the most dangerous weapons in modern wars aren't missiles, drones, or tanks, but dark, narrow tunnels hidden under our feet? How do simple underground passages turn into powerful tools that can shape entire battles? Intro. Today, we're diving into the shadowy world beneath the battlefield, where tunnels become more than just escape routes. They become weapons, strategies, and psychological tools that can flip the balance of power even when everything above ground feels hopeless. And as we walk through this story together, we'll see how something as old as dirt keeps reinventing itself in modern war. The first impression: why tunnels matter before any shots are fired. When we first think about a war zone, our minds jump to loud explosions, armored vehicles, and smoke rising into the air. But the very first look at a tunnel network is often the moment armies realize they aren't just fighting what they can see. They're fighting what they can't. Tunnels immediately shift the psychology of a battlefield. Suddenly, the ground becomes a question mark. Every step could hide an opening. Every village might sit over a network stretching from miles, and every enemy who disappears might not be gone. They might simply be underground. That first realization is enough to change war plans, frontline positions, and even the pace of entire operations.
How tunnels turn into powerful weapons. The strange thing is that tunnels don't look threatening. They're tight, dark, sometimes muddy, sometimes reinforced. But they don't give off the same energy as a machine gun or a missile. Yet their power lies in what they allow. They turn small groups into ghosts, fighters who can appear, strike, and vanish. They let people move supplies secretly. They give armies a way to survive bombardments that flatten entire neighborhoods. And through all of this, they slowly become more than hiding spots. They become strategic weapons that directly shape the outcome of battles. The secret of surprise and invisibility. One of the biggest reasons tunnels work so well in war is simple. They hide everything. No radar can easily scan deep, twisted underground passages. No drone can peek below the surface. And when airstrikes rain down, tunnels often stay intact. This invisibility becomes a weapon on its own. It creates doubt, hesitation, and fear. Above ground, soldiers may feel like they control an area, but deep down, they know someone could be moving right below them. This forces militaries to slow down, rethink strategies, and dedicate huge resources to hunting something they can't even see.
The tunnel as a shield and a shelter. Over time, tunnels evolve. They stop being just pathways and begin acting like underground fortresses. In some conflicts, tunnels stretch for kilometers, sometimes buried 20 to 30 meters deep, which is far below the reach of many bombs. They hide command centers, weapons, communication rooms, even makeshift hospitals. This underground world becomes a place where fighters can rest, plan, and prepare, while everything above them is chaos. It's almost like having a second battlefield, one that outsiders can't easily touch. The challenge for powerful armies. Here's where tunnels truly show their strength. Even the most advanced armies, with billions of dollars in technology, often struggle to deal with underground threats. Powerful militaries rely heavily on vision, drones, satellites, sensors. But when the enemy disappears underground, it cancels those advantages. The result is something unexpected. Large armies feel blind and slow, while smaller, more flexible groups suddenly feel empowered. The tunnel becomes an equalizer, shrinking the gap between enormous firepower and limited resources.
The trap factor, turning the underground into a maze of risks. Another thing that makes tunnels so dangerous is the way they're built like living puzzles. Some tunnels are narrow and force people to crawl. Some are reinforced with concrete. Others open into chambers big enough for dozens of fighters. And sometimes, dead ends are left intentionally, creating confusion. Booby traps, hidden doors, fake paths, everything becomes part of the design. Anyone trying to enter doesn't just face the enemy, they face the environment itself, and that environment can be just as deadly. The speed advantage of underground movement. It's ironic. Tunnels are cramped, but they give fighters mobility that's unbelievably fast. While an army moves slowly above ground, checking every street and rooftop, tunnel networks allow quick movement from one area to another without detection. A unit can pop up in the west side of a city, then disappear and reappear minutes later somewhere completely unexpected. That unpredictability becomes a weapon. It forces militaries to constantly guess instead of confidently act. The future of tunnel warfare. As wars modernize, tunnels keep evolving. Now we see deeper networks, stronger structures, better ventilation, and smarter planning. Some tunnels stretch multiple floors underground. Some connect entire neighborhoods. And with new scanning technology, militaries are trying to catch up. But each advance above ground creates a new response below it. Tunnels remain one of the few ancient war techniques that still compete with modern tools. And as long as war exists, underground strategies will keep reinventing themselves. So when we talk about tunnels being war weapons, we're not talking about the tunnels themselves. We're talking about the fear they create, the advantage they offer, and the unpredictable nature they bring into the heart of a conflict. They turn the ground into a hidden battlefield and force armies to fight both the enemy and the unknown. And once that happens, war changes completely.